Hey guys, this is your homework helper for Module 2, Lesson 2. The objective here is we're going to estimate multi-digit products by rounding factors to basic math facts and using place value patterns to make that happen. Basically, we're going to estimate. And we're going to round and estimate, okay? And remember, estimate is where we're finding out something is about. It's close. It's not exact. We would do this for all kinds of real world purposes where you needed to come up with an answer for something, but you just needed to get a close number so that you could, I don't know, order food for a large group, so that you could um, predict how many people were going to be someplace, predict, there's all kinds of things that we can use this for in real life. So this is a good skill to have. But we're going to start off with just a couple problems to explain this out. This one should go fairly fast. Let's say we start out with, let's say I have number 456, and I want to multiply that by 42. But I don't want to get an exact product. Rounding an estimate is just fine with that. So let's say I could round things to tens. If I round it to the tens here, this would be 460, and if I round it to the tens here, it would be 40. And I could, that makes it a little more manageable. But even that in itself, not totally. In my head, 46 times 4. Yeah, I could probably do that, but let's just make this easier. Even that 460, I could make that. I could turn that into 500, and 500 times 40 is definitely something that I can do. Especially 5 times 4, dealing with my property, and multiply that by, that would be 1,000, and that would be 20, and 20 times 1,000 is going to be 20,000. And so you'll see that, is that the exact number here? Would that be my exact product if I did it? No, but it's going to be pretty close, and it's going to be an estimate. And we can use this, especially when we're doing math, just to find the reasonableness of an answer. If I'm doing a multiplication and I solve something, I can go back and check it, or I could do that beforehand and say, okay, if I really do need to multiply this out, I know my answer is going to be somewhere close to 20,000, so that I should get a product that's somewhere close to 20,000. Okay, so get myself some space here, so I could do that. Let's try another one. 1,320 times 88. Yes, that's an 8. So if let's say if I try to round this one up, what could I round to? I could take this 88. That's pretty close to 90, isn't it? And 1,320. I suppose I could do 1,300, but even then, 13 times 9, that's not something I want to do right now. So instead of that, why don't I just make this straight up 1,000? And I can do that. Oh my gosh. Well, 9 times 1 times, what did I just do that? 9 times 1, and 1,000 times 10 times 10,000. That would be 9 times 10,000s. That would be 90,000, right? There's other ways I can do this. The nice thing about estimating is it's not totally perfect. It doesn't have to be an exact answer. I could do my 13 times 9. I could do, if I did round that to that and did that to that, I could certainly do that. I could do 13 times 9. And then I could multiply that by my 100 by times 10. 100 times 10 would be 1,000. And if I did 13 times 9, what is that? 117? 117 times 1,000. And that would give me 117,000. So you'll see, while these numbers here, they're within reach of each other. This is almost 100,000, and this is almost 100,000. So we're getting close. We're getting close there. Let's say we did this one then. Let's say we did this number. I'm gonna put this in a different color so it stands out. That's just being different. Let's see, I did 13,205 times 80. looking at that compared to this up here, I can see that that's about 10 times larger. This one here it's about 10 times larger than that. And this one here, or it's not about 10, it is exactly 10 times larger. This one is about 10 times larger than this one. So if this one's 10 times larger than this, and this is 10 times larger than this, 10 times 10 times, so I'm guessing my product's going to be somewhere around 100 times bigger. 100 times bigger. Do you see how I can estimate that? Anyways, I could go ahead and try that out. I could take this, if I did that up the same as up here, I would take it to down to 10,000, and I would take this to 900, and 9 times 1, and that would be 100 times 10,000, and 100 times 10,000, that would be 1 million. So my answer would be 9 million. So is that 100 times bigger than 90,000? Yeah, it is. So I was correct on that. Absolutely. So when we're doing rounding, when we're doing rounding, and not only rounding but estimating, there's really no. I mean, there are incorrect answers, right? I mean, if I had that and I rounded that to 10,000, it's not really close. So yes, there are incorrect answers, but for the most part, you could do. I mean, this could be 2,300. This could be 2,000. I mean, you could even, if you really, really wanted to, you could do 2,360. Any of these would be reasonable to say it's an estimate of this. The point of estimating, though, is to make it relatively easy for you to do in your mind so that you don't necessarily have to sit down and do a standard algorithm to find out, what that product is. So you're gonna want to make sure that it's something that you could probably do in your mind and just come up with a quick product. So anyways, bring questions to class. I think you guys are rocking. You're awesome. You are a super person, and I believe in you. And do your best. Make sure that you're checking your work. Make sure you're going back over and looking at everything, and have fun. See you guys later.